need someone here immediately. There's a lot of people trying to get into my house.
Okay, how many people, ma'am?
I don't know. I don't know how many people. They're just, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, are they inside the house, ma'am?
No, we have people inside the house. There's about 5 of us. You guys, where's Sean? Where is Sean? We need someone here.
Okay, ma'am, can you give me your address, ma'am?
We're at...
Okay, ma'am, I need you to stay on the line with me. I need you to tell me what's going on.
Where is Sean?
We've been looking outside. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
We haven't seen him. We thought he might have been outside. I can't see.
There are people outside.
Brett, did you say anything? No, I haven't. Well, listen, of course not. Yeah.
What?
Ma'am, you stay on the line with me. Can you tell me what's going on?
Okay. I don't know. When I look out the window, there's just light. There's light.
It's picturesque. A cozy farmhouse nestled in the golden plains of America's heartland, surrounded by rich soil and the relaxing solitude of country living. It's the perfect place to escape your troubles and the trappings of a busy life. Perfect, unless your troubles can descend on you at any time, from any place.
In July of 2013, Sean Miller disappeared for 4 days. A 4-day manhunt ensued that ended in a phone call from over 100 miles away and a story that would follow the couple from home to home.
7 years later, the Millers, along with documentary film crew consisting of filmmaker Ash Hamilton, his wife Chanel, and cameraman Brett Pearson, would revisit that fateful event, culminating in a 911 call that would baffle anyone who came near it.
Hi, it's been a pleasure to meet you. Let's just get started with some basics. Why don't you give me your name, your age, occupation?
My name is Ash Hamilton. I am 45 years old, and I am a filmmaker. And when I'm not making films, I also teach film on the college level, film theory and film production.
But I'm probably best known for my work in the horror genre, serving as a producer on films like Camp Death 3 and 2D.
They've been prescribed 2 heaping spoonfuls of death. Camp Death 3 in 2D.
A film based off of my board game property called Slice and Dice.
I'm gonna slice you to pieces.
And also directing the award-winning short film, Play With Me.
What?
So, tell me how you became involved in this particular story. How do you know Stacy and Sean? What brought you to this?
I had originally heard about the incident with Sean when it actually happened in 2013. I've always been interested in these subjects, so I was on various different news sites, different forums, and this was a particular interest when it came about because I didn't know how local it was, but I knew that it was regional. I was pretty sure that it was in the Illinois area. So I had a little more interest in it than some of the other stories.
Right.
And plus it was, I mean, in all honesty, it was a little more fantastic, some of the other stories. This wasn't your typical lights in the sky kind of thing. You know, this was an actual disappearance, and it was something where they had local law enforcement involved. It was, I'll reiterate, it was definitely more fantastic than some of the other stories at the time that I was taking a look at.
Okay, so is this the one you wanted?
Yes.
Okay, Do you want me to get a tripod or?
No, I think we can just do the handheld thing. I mean, this is really sort of for us anyway, so we don't need to be.
Can I sit down for this?
Yeah, no, you can go ahead and sit down. That's fine. You know, like any good story that has its own twists and turns. God damn it, I'm gonna go ahead and start that again. Sorry about that. So, like any good story, there are twists and turns. We'll get to that in a minute. Sean Miller incident happened in 2013. Sean Miller, who was a Illinois native, which is sort of why I was drawn to the story when it originally took place in 2013, disappeared for 4 days. And when he came back, there were tall tales of abduction from a non-terrestrial intelligence. He was displaced. The phone call came, similar to the Travis Walton story, miles away. And this particular instance, over 100 miles away when he finally came back. So there were reports of phenomena happening previous to this. So I remember hearing about it in 2013. We're seeing some Associated Press articles. I mean, it got a hold of it and ran it in a few different places. And, we thought, man, what is there a better story for a documentary, especially considering what we're into? And then we started to try to make the documentary. And lo and behold, we can't find anything on the Sean Miller story. So, it's late. It is, oh God. It's 2:56 in the morning. And there's a Reddit thread that I've been posting in intermittently for the last few months. But tonight was different because someone DM'd me and they had a screenshot of one of the articles. And this has been probably the biggest news on that front in a while. So I was pretty excited, and I'm looking it over, and it looks pretty legit. And not like 5 minutes later, I get another DM from the same guy, and he's telling me that not only does he live like around the same town that Sean Miller currently lives in, like not the residence from 7 years ago or 4 years ago, but we're talking right now. And he follows all this up with the fact that he says that he's got his email address. Okay, so it's now been about a month since I had received what I was told was Sean Miller's email address. About 8 minutes ago, received a notification for a return email from Sean Miller's email address. Okay. I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but I've been burnt on this before, multiple times, so I'm more than a little cautious. We are finally at a point where we don't get, I guess it's supposed to say we're finally at a point where we don't get a lot of these emails anymore, and it's taken us years to get here. Please, you need to respect our privacy. Now wait. Okay, if I give you 5 minutes and I say no, well then that's my final no. So yeah, 5 minutes. I'm usually up till midnight. Holy shit, and there's actually a phone number here. Okay, here goes. So how are you going to feel about being away from our home for a week?
Well, you know, we're gonna miss the cats. They won't miss me. And if it were to Disney, that would be super exciting because it's a vacation, and but it's not. It's to a stranger's house, so I'm a little bit apprehensive, but.
I could get a shoulder under there. That's about it. That's about all I could get.
From Gracie.
I could get under there. It would not be comfortable. I'd probably get a terrible leg cramp in the hamstring.
Man, I could take a
oh
nap.
my God,
I could take a nap, but I'd wake up with my neck all screwed up and.
I am positive that I could contort myself in a position that one testicle would pop out and shoot across the room.
Probably.
That's what would happen to me.
And just let me know first, and I'll turn on the camera.
It would be.
I was gonna say, just make sure we.
It would be. Well, it's free special effects, which I do love free, as anyone will know.
Are you just aiming at me because you can see my cleavage?
That's exactly what I'm doing. Actually. So if you could give me your full name, your age, and what your affiliation is with the documentary and the filmmakers behind it.
Okay.
My name is Brett Pearson. I'm 38 years old, and my association to the filmmakers, Ash and Chanel, are good friends of mine. I've known them for several years, and we've kind of go back a long way. I've been working for them on and off. Like I said, several years. This is kind of my foundation. This is where I've gotten my feet wet with doing documentary type camera work is mostly what I do for them, but I've done some mic work, some audio, editing, pretty much whatever I'm asked. So I got called in to do this documentary to the Millers, things they're experiencing at the residence, and dropped what I was doing, which wasn't much of anything, and come to help out.
Take a brief tour here in the Horror Fix offices before we leave. See what our man in the field, our DP, Brett, is doing.
Packing shit for the trip. So I got the tripods, lighting, batteries, extra batteries for when those don't want to work.
You mean like every fucking time?
Tell me about it. Charger for the batteries at the front door. We can grab that on the way out.
Famous last words, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
What are your personal thoughts on the subject matter? Would you consider yourself a skeptic or a believer?
Skeptic, 100%, man. Like, I got to see it with my own eyes if I'm going to believe this. So, here I come.